Pasture raised. What does pasture raised mean?
Well, pasture raised, if you actually look at the true definition, means that the animal was raised out on pastures, right? And we define pasture raised as it being out on pastures as its entire life.
Okay.
Right? No confinements, grass, bugs, shrubs, poop, insects. Especially if you're talking about poultry, that's what you're looking for, right? Then there's obviously grass-fed beef, pasture-raised beef, things like that. Pasture-raised, forest-raised hogs. So basically, its entire life out on the pastures, in the wilderness, on a farm.
And that's so you said that we say it's 100% on pasture, right? But like the USDA, there's not really a certain like percentage, right? From the USDA, it's just kind of like.
Is there some technicalities of how long that animal has to be on the pasture before it's taken to a lot or whatever to be qualified, quote unquote, a pasture-raised animal?
So that's where it gets a little bit hairy, right? Under the USDA definitions, right, and how they use certain verbiages, access. There's a lot of verbiages, words in the USDA that will, in quotations, and so you kind of have to look at the definitions of what the USDA is actually using, and then what a specific program, farmer also uses to define what their program is about. And that's where it gets a little bit convoluted.
I'm sure, and it seemed, doing a lot of this research, I was looking at it, and there's a lot of like third-party, associations and like nonprofits and things like that. So it's like, oh, this nonprofit pasture raised company says you are pasture raised, or I'm pasture raised certified by these guys and these guys. And so it seems like a lot of it could be some pay to play, like do small farms, are they able to even say this when it comes to like a big certification? Like that kind of, that seemed like that kind of played a big role in it.
Oh, absolutely. The, the political nature of these certifications also, like how do you certify a farm if you've been there once in the last 3 years?
Yeah.
Right? Like what does that look like?
That's that's tough, man.
I mean, that's like saying I've been to this amazing restaurant one time and it's the best restaurant in the world.
3-star Michelin.
Forever,
right? Forever.
Yeah, right.
And so you can use a bunch of different analogies, but I think that some of these national certifications are I don't want to use the word a joke, but they've kind of become silly.
Yeah, I understand, man. But so our stuff, or I say our stuff as we're part of Pure Country, but
we feel like we're part of
or the stuff
you guys are.
The stuff that you bring us is pasture raised, right?
A lot of the stuff we bring you guys is pasture raised. We're very selective in terms of what we look for regarding our animals. So not everything is pasture raised that we do, right?
Okay. Is there a reason for that?
So our biggest goal is first and foremost is support the local agricultural community, right? And so a lot of stuff spends a lot of its life out on pastures, and then we do a lot of feeding, a lot of finishing. Our duck program is 100% pasture raised. Our pork program is they're in open hoop houses, exposed to the elements out in the open.
Yeah.
And so our beef program spends probably 80+% of their lives out on pastures, and then they're put in open bunker feedlots, which I actually got a number today. The open bunker feed pens are about 10 times larger than the average commodity feed pens, right?
Okay.
So we're more focused on supporting the local economy and bringing in like super sustainable high-end meats to folks like you guys.
Yeah.
Versus again, the pasture raised is a great element to support, but it's also not our biggest focus as well.
Okay.